You damn right we do.
Yeah! Yeah! Woo!
That may be the most excited I've ever heard EKC Leiden ahead of a fist fight. And for damn good reason, because we got a damn good fist fight just 24 hours away. It is certified. It is official. It is Dricus du Plessis, Khamzat Chimaev, and the rest of UFC 319. And we're here to break it all down for the normal preview show at MMAfight.com. Great website. Hi, everybody. My name is Jed Meshew. You probably already know who I am. And I'm really excited to talk about one man in particular, but the rest of this fight card. And joining me for this wonderful preview show, the king in the north, a man who we're going to find out how excited he is, because I know he would have been unbelievably excited yesterday before some unfortunateness happened. And now we only have one tough finale, but the king of tough himself, Alexander Kaley. How we doing, AK?
Oh, let me tell you, and Alibi Adiris, he looked a little, didn't look great on the scale. I'm kind of dreading waking up Saturday and finding another one more UFC news update that there's been another update to the card, because I don't know what we'll do, Jed, if I lose Donchenko versus Cezinando and Adiris versus Morales, the two Ultimate Fighter 33 finals. Man, I don't know.
Plus Brian Battle is off the card. I know that probably hit you. Another tough veteran in Brian Battle, tough winner actually.
Champion, Ultimate Fighter 29 champion at 185 pounds, which apparently he cannot make anymore.
Can't do it anymore. He pulled the classic Rumble Johnson. Love that for him. And then of course
he is not as thick as Rumble Johnson. By the way, I feel like this is not a good idea for him to follow that path.
Yeah, that's I'll be interested to see if he still has a job come Monday morning, but that's neither. I mean, it's here or there. We'll talk about it maybe because we will answer questions at the end. But that fight is off, and also AK Guzzi pops for roids, and like a lot of roids. So it's a really tough 24 hours for you and your fandom. But I guess let's hop right into it. Also joining us, of course, producer extraordinaire, No Sleeves, No Mercy. I don't actually know if he's wearing, I can't remember if he's wearing sleeves or not. Oh, No Sleeves, No Mercy, Mr. 3024 himself, EKC Leiden on the ones and twos. So AK, back to you.
Can I apologize? Can I apologize for the late start time? This was my fault. We were late because of me. I was inebriated. That's what I was inebriated. People know I love my substances. I rolled up one of those little things, and then I smoked it. I smoked it like a cigarette, and I apologize, guys. I will get my life together, and this won't happen again.
Don't know why you did that when you could have just smoked cigarettes in honor of Carlos Prates, who I'm sure we will.
Oh, this is true.
Coming up. But before we get into that, AK, UFC 319, Chicago, first time in the Windy City in like 6 years, something like that for the UFC. A card, much ballyhooed, a lot of talk about this card, and especially the main event between DDP and Khamzat. But let's just get where you're at. I know you don't do gymnastics anymore. You're an old man. You've hung up your chalk powder and your parallel bars. But how are you feeling ahead of 319? What's the general level of excitement for this weekend?
Like pretty damn high, but it's very much still feels like a one fight card, and it's not. It is not a one fight card. I think as the card sort of rounded into shape, and I think as a lot of us are sort of, as always happens during fight week, we hear a little more from the fighters. We kind of dig into the stats. We can dig into the meaning behind these matchups. I think we all get a little more invested. And I think top to bottom, I'm sure I can find one good angle for every fight. Right? That's why we do this. That's why we're kind of in the business. But like from a pure fan perspective, it still feels like a one fight card. But what a one fight it is, and like everything else is gravy. Like I will say this, like. This could be 11 stinkers and then like one like a quality main event, and I don't care. I probably won't criticize the card. All I'm going to remember is Dricus du Plessis and Khamzat Chimaev, either whether it lasts 90 seconds, 25 minutes, it could just turn into an ugly ass fight in the third and fourth rounds, or it ends in one of those rounds. However it turns out, I am so excited. Barring any sort of weirdness, right, where we get some freak accident, like this is going to be one of the most memorable fights of 2025. Will it be one of the best? I don't know. Like will we get a cool back and forth battle? I don't know. But we will be talking about this result by the end of the year, no matter what, whether it's DDP asserting his dominance, making a very strong case to be the number one pound for pound fighter in the world, or Khamzat Chimaev, it's almost against all odds, finally completing that journey to UFC champion. I mean, we've said it 1,000 times. When we saw him on Fight Island, his debut, when we saw him knock out Joe Meerschaert so quickly, we were like, this guy is going to be fast tracked to a title. At 170, 185, take your pick. Within 2 years, you fight for one of these titles. It took a lot longer than that. There's some health issues, there's COVID issues, there's visa issues. Now we know for sure there were actual visa issues that had to be resolved by President Donald Trump. A lot has gotten in this guy's way. But by the time people listen to this, we will, depending when you listen to this, we could just be hours away from the Khamzat Chimaev walking into the cage to fight for a UFC title. And that sounds so cool, and I'm really excited. So yes, overall, really still just looking forward to this one fight, but the rest of the card ain't bad. And I think it'll do more than tide us over until the headliners walk out.
Yeah, I honestly just in lockstep with everything you said right there. Casey, you can see over my shoulder here, I'm giving this 2 Mashulin stars on this particular card because the main event is so strong. I said it months in advance. I said it all fight week. You can never be confident that Khamzat's going to show up, but made weight, It really seems like this made underweight actually came in 2 pounds under the 185 limit. And so it seems very likely that this will go forward. And as long as we're getting that main event, if the rest of the card is a total bomb, it won't be great. We would like that not to be, but it's hard for me to imagine we won't end the night happy, whatever the outcome is on the main event, because either way it goes it's interesting. It's something new. It's something exciting. DDP doing something that's like very few people have done before and sort of ending this hype train. Khamzat Chimaev, like finally doing it as you put it. AK, you want to hear something crazy that I didn't realize until yesterday when I was writing something, looked it up? Dricus du Plessis made his UFC debut 3 months after Khamzat Chimaev did. That feels insane to me, given like if you had just polled people in freaking December of 2020 and were like, hey, which of these guys is going to get to a belt first? No human alive would have been like, not only will Dricus get to a title shot before him, he'll actually win the belt and defend it multiple times before Khamzat ever fights for a title. It is insane the journey this man has taken to finally get to where people thought he would be 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, and I don't know. Like, one of the big questions we have going into this, Jed, is I don't know what happens if he doesn't complete this journey. Like, this one fight should not define Khamzat's career. Like, that seems like a crazy thing to say. What is he? He's like 30, right? He's not an old guy. He's 31. He's 31 years old. He's only been fighting since, I'm looking this up real quick, 2018. Like, this is he's essentially what we would call like a prospect, like someone who's only been fighting for 7 or 8 years. I guess you're a veteran, but like we've had people come into the UFC with like 7 or 8 years of experience, and then we still call them prospects. It's just, we have seen him when he came in, he came relatively early compared to his, like, when he actually debuted as a pro. So this fight should not define him, but it's kind of a different age now, isn't it? Like the social media age. I think if you lose now, boy, it is just going to be the fraud checks and the Chimaev was never that good, and now he got exposed. Whatever buzzword you want to break out, everything will be laid on Chimaev if he does not pull this off.
I'm not good enough. Life is hard, and sometimes.
So this fight should not define him, but it's kind of a different age now, isn't it? Like the social media age. I think if you lose now, boy, it is just going to be the fraud checks and the Chimaev was never that good, and now he got exposed. Whatever buzzword you want to break out, everything will be laid on Chimaev if he does not pull this off. If this goes against the odds and becomes a back and forth battle, like 25-minute battle, I think he can still, and even if he loses that, then I think he maybe leaves with some respect. But I think all of us are expecting this to end inside the distance. And if it's Dricus du Plessis just pounding Chimaev out on the ground or submitting an exhausted Chimaev, the critics are going to be coming out in full force. I don't know how Khamzat's going to recover from that, especially given his level of activity. So yes, it's fun, crazy to see this journey, crazy to see that we finally got here. But also, I'm really wondering if he doesn't pull it off, where this journey could possibly go next. I can't even come close to predicting it.
Interesting. I'm not entirely sure that we'll get the fraud check conversation if DDP wins. I think this may be an instance where everyone's just like, wow, I guess DDP is really good, and everyone finally comes around. But I'll be interested to see. But let's be honest. The main event is by far the biggest thing happening this weekend. The rest of the fight card, pretty solid, and we will get to it. I do want to focus most of our attention on there. And so a little different than how I normally run this. I want to focus on both ends of the ball here. And so let's start, AK, with what is your biggest question for the champion, Dricus du Plessis, heading into this matchup? He is your underdog. Currently, our fans at FanDuel our friends at FanDuel have him at plus, they're probably fans too, at plus 194. Chimaev, a sizable betting favorite, minus 245. More money has kept coming in on Chimaev for a lot of the week as well. So, setting aside Chimaev for the moment, AK, what's your big question for Dricus heading into, the biggest fight of his career, I think?
I wonder where his head's at as far as, again, kind of, I don't think he would ever look past Khamzat. I just don't think that's possible. I think he's as locked in on this opponent as he has any other person he's ever fought his entire life. I think he's too smart for that. But I do think there has to be, you reach a certain level and there's that question of more. There's that question of everyone, chasing legacy, blah, 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 going up to other divisions. It wouldn't be the first time he's talked about it either. I remember his coach was saying that he could have